What's going on YouTube? So the BMW X5 has long been one of BMW's best-selling models, which is why you see them everywhere. But you don't see this version everywhere. This is the high-performance X5 M Competition. So today we're gonna check this out, extensively review it, and see, is this the ultimate wolf in sheep's clothing? Let's go ahead and find out. Now before we get into the excitement of that test drive, we're gonna talk about the exterior design. Now I said it's a little bit of a wolf in sheep's clothing because it does fundamentally look like an X5, but it also has a lot of aggressive elements exclusive for this M model that have also been updated for the 2024 refresh. So up here in the front, you're gonna notice a large black grille. As you can see, this goes all the way down to the lower elements. You have a very aggressive vents running through here because of course you're gonna need maximum airflow going through these grills into the large engine underneath. Now this really contrasts quite nicely with this blue paint, as you can tell, even in our lower areas here. And then as far as the headlights are concerned, these are going to look very nice as well. This is the updated BMW signature, so it has this new kind of V-shaped daytime running light and turn signal indicator with the cool fading effect. Obviously, these are going to be full LED with all the latest and greatest technology. Now this is a high performance vehicle, so as you would expect, the wheels aren't the normal X5 options. You do have, of course, special designs which look very nice, but practically speaking, these are gonna be staggered alloy wheels. So we actually have 21-inch alloy wheels in the front, 22-inch alloy wheels in the back, and we're gonna be wrapped in high performance rubber with high performance brakes. Of course, you do have some dedicated M badging over here on the side. No M would be complete without these special M mirrors with that cool aerodynamic design, full gloss black finish, and all the same luxury features as the regular X5.
Now with this BMW X5, you're going to continue to have a length of 194.2 inches, even for the X5 M model. And of course it looks really gorgeous here at the side, but I really want to show you what's in the back because this is where you're going to notice that this is no regular X5. Now, of course, a lot of your design elements are similar to the other X5 models, but we are going to have a lot more aggressive touches. So as you can see right up here with the spoiler here, you have a more aggressive shape. It's more distinct and sporty looking. And then as we head down to our taillight unit, this is of course going to be the newest X5 taillight unit that we saw on the refreshed model. Of course, that's going to translate over here to the X5M as well. Really nice design, full LED. But this is the area that I want to talk about because this is where the X5M really comes to life. This lower diffuser is completely different for the M Competition model. It's going to be finished in a nice gloss black, and we're also going to have quad exhaust outlets. And let me tell you, this thing sounds absolutely phenomenal. Definitely not your regular X5 when it comes to the exhaust. Wow. Now when it comes to your safety system, of course, every X5 is very advanced in this department. That's going to continue for this X5M as well. So we're going to have all 4 of your active safety features as an available feature, and we're also going to have the new highway assistant function, which is new to the X5 lineup for 2024, that allows for hands-free highway driving at up to 85 miles per hour. So that's a very cool feature that you're going to get on this X5M. But guys, there is a lovely interior waiting for you. But first,
if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
All right, now it's time to climb inside, take a look at the interior before we go out on a drive. First up, we have our key fob. At first glance, this looks exactly the same as the latest BMW fob, but actually it's fully gloss black to give you that real stealthy M look. Of course, you do have the intelligent entry, you have digital key, and you can just grab behind the handle to unlock the door and hop inside. But I'll invite Mason to take a look inside. You're going to see some unique graphics flash across the display, and you're going to see some unique things on this interior that you can't get on any other version of the X5. One of the things that I think really stands out is the performance seats. So as you can tell, these are performance bucket seats. We have a very aggressive bolster that goes through here and really going to hold you in place. I love the color scheme. We have a brown with black accents, all nicely perforated through here. And this is going to be the merino leather standard equipment on the M version. As we take a look at the seats, you have the same controls, so 16 ways of adjustment, power thigh extension. We even have massaging abilities. But let's go ahead and climb inside and look at the rest of the interior. Now that we're fully inside the cabin, let's look at the rest of the materials. So this does actually have the extended merino option, which means that you're going to have leather in a lot of places that you don't even expect to find leather. One of those places, it might be a little hard to see until I put the light on it, is actually full leather covering on the lower door trim. That's right, all the way to the ground. And up here at the top, we're gonna have full leather everywhere. I love the quilted design through here, absolutely beautiful. Real metal accents running throughout. Of course, full leather across the top. The M version is gonna come with a carbon fiber trim that's gonna take up your center section. M branding for your illuminated area right through there. More carbon fiber, and then full leather all through here. So really nicely done and luxurious feeling cabin. Now, to fire up this beast, press the red button right there in the center. Oh yeah. After you fire the beast up, you are going to be greeted with some special graphics for your gauge cluster. Obviously, this is the 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster like many BMWs have, but as you can see, the M model does have its own unique sport graphics for a little bit of a different look. And in addition to that, you're going to see that reflected up there with the very large head-up display as well. Now, as we pull back to the steering wheel, we've got a performance steering wheel, nice leather wrapped. I love the M colors that are going through the steering wheel itself. That's a nice touch. And then you do have some exclusive buttons here for your M1 and M2. Those are your custom M performance drive modes. And then we also have carbon fiber paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. Very, very nice. Now, on a more practical note, let's take a quick look at storage. It's pretty good. This is relatively deep. Inside, you're going to find a USB-C port as well. Underneath of that are your two cup holders, heated and ventilated cup holders, I might add. And then we have a wireless phone charging pad as well. Now, as far as the shifter is concerned, this is going to be unique. So we still have this kind of stand-up style, and it has a different operation. So for drive, you're actually going to go over here to the right, and this will allow you to shift manually here or use those paddle shifters I was talking about earlier. For reverse, we're going to press over to the left and then up. It kind of locks into place, and as you can see, we do have that 360 camera as you would expect. It is going to have things like the 3D view as well as the parking assistant functions throughout, and the graphics are fantastic. Park is going to be located right there. You can just press that P and you can allow the shifter to return back to center as well. Now, as we move on up the dashboard area, we do have our audio functions. This model has the available Bauer and Wilkins sound system, which is obviously going to be a very high-end audio system with lots of beautiful metal speaker grills and the best sound quality in the lineup. And then in terms of our climate controls, just like all the 2024 X5s, our climate has moved up here in this bottom part of the screen itself. So this version here is going to be running iDrive 8, and your climate is going to look like this, and you have your additional menu right through there with all the lots and lots of additional climate functions for you to adjust. As far as the main display, 14.9 inches, just like in many other BMWs, wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay, built-in navigation. Up top here, auto-dimming mirror with our HomeLink universal remotes. We have a beautiful Alcantara headliner up at the top with stitching on the visors. I really like that. And of course, no model would be complete without a large panoramic sunroof.
Now, as you saw in the front, being as sporty as this X5 M Competition is, you don't really sacrifice a lot of the luxury, and that's going to once again happen here in the rear, and it also doesn't sacrifice your practicality. That's one of the beauties about having an X5 M, is that you get all the sportiness without the sacrifices in practicality. Now, one of those is the rear space. So 37.4 inches of legroom, 40.8 inches of headroom. That's going to remain the same as any other X5. Tons of space for an average size adult like myself, who's 5'9", and Drew is 5'8" with this seat adjustment. Now, as far as features are concerned, here in the center, we do have rear vents. We also have 4-zone climate control. That's actually standard on every single X5 M Competition. We also have heated rear seats off to the side of that. Little storage cubby, more power outlets down here at the bottom, and a 12-volt outlet. Additionally, something you're going to get standard on the X5M is the rear window sunshades, and you're also going to have vents here in the B-pillar. A beautifully crafted door trim, and like Drew mentioned in the front, we even have leather at the very bottom of the door trim, so a very, very premium experience even here in the rear. And like I just said, practicality is not sacrificed when you choose this model. So let's see how much space we have back here. Hint, it's a lot. So with every X5, you're going to have about 34 cubic feet behind the second row seats. If we fold those seats down, we're going to have about 72 cubic feet as a maximum. That's going to continue for the X5M. So not only are you going to have a lot of fun on those canyon roads, you're also going to be able to bring a lot of stuff with you. I also like the split opening tailgate that continues for this model. And then underneath of the floor, we do actually have a spare tire on this X5M. But I won't leave you guys waiting any longer. Let's go ahead and get out on that test drive. Well, guys, here we are behind the wheel of the BMW X5 M Competition. This is the part I know you've been waiting on. I've been waiting on. Can't wait to show you what's under the hood. We're also going to get things like our signature sound level reading, but let's go ahead and first start out with the hard acceleration and see what this X5M is all about. Wow.
Listen to that sound.
Woo! It's everything I thought it would be and more. So power is coming from a 4.4 liter twin turbo V8. So this is no longer a 6-cylinder. The X5M Competition is going to 8 cylinders. And wow, this is crazy. 617 horsepower. The sound,
yes,
it sounds so good.
Gotta love the sound of a V8.
Absolutely intoxicating. 553 pound-feet of torque, and the 0 to 60 on this, 3.7 seconds. Out of an X5, guys. Definitely no ordinary X5.
Right, we said at the intro, a sheep in wolf's clothing, wolf in sheep's clothing, goodness gracious. Anyways, but you know what I mean. The point is that this is a little bit unassuming, but you could say this is a sleeper vehicle because this is going to absolutely destroy a number of really high performance cars. You could leave them in the dust while still carrying your family and bringing a load of groceries home.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Now, it's not to say that the other X5 variants are weak by any stretch of the imagination. There's the M60i model that slots in below this, and then, of course, the 40i's. And if you've watched many of our reviews on the X5, you may have realized that the 40i is really quite powerful in itself. 375 horsepower. It definitely is no slouch when it comes to performance. But this, this is the option if you have a family, need all the cargo capacity, need the space, but you still want an M product at heart. This is for you. BMW does make it, and I have to applaud them because a lot of brands wouldn't make something like this, that's for sure. So we're going to go ahead and do our sound level reading because we're on a good stretch of road for it here in South Carolina. We don't really know how many other stretches of road we're going to come across. We're not unfamiliar with the area. Going 55 miles per hour, fan speed 1. 57.4 decibels is what we're sitting at for our sound level reading for this BMW X5 M. That is a very good sound level reading, but once again, I don't have to sit here and guess. I can go to carconfections.com/sound level readings because we've actually posted all of our sound level readings on our website, and we can see how this X5M ranks. Now, one would expect the M version is going to be a little bit louder than the standard 40i version of the X5 because you do have that big burly V8 under the hood, so even if you turn off the active exhaust to make it as quiet as possible, it still will definitely have some noise entering into the cabin. But very good sound level reading overall. It's definitely going to have a very luxurious sound in here, even if you just want to go get groceries in peace. I will go ahead and flip the sound back on though because I enjoy it. And now that we're kind of coming back into the city to tone down our test drive of the X5M, let's go ahead and talk about the ride quality with this model. Now, you might be curious, do you get all that performance and does it completely transform this kind of into a hard-edged sports car that's not comfortable? The answer to that, I think, is definitely going to be no. This is actually the first time we're in the X5M, and we've been in a lot of X5s. I will say the X5M does have a stiffer suspension. Even in the, we're in, I believe, well actually right now we're in the sport mode, but when we were in the road mode, which is like the comfort setting for the X5M, you feel a little bit more penetration into the cabin. Of course, you do have larger wheels on this, and it does have that more sport focus, so it's going to be a little bit more uncomfortable, but that's not saying that this is uncomfortable by any stretch of the imagination. It's still a very good family SUV. Does a great job of soaking up the bumps. We have a standard air suspension on X5 M Competition. We also have adaptive M dampers on this model. So it does a good job of controlling them.
Yeah, and all those things allow for a lot of variability so that you can, be pretty hardcore. I mean, this is a great handling SUV. You can see how quick responding the steering is. Everything corners nice and flat as well. It's really very surprising that you can have this type of performance out of a big SUV, but you certainly can.
Now, one of the other differences that you'll notice when you get behind the wheel of an X5M are the seats. These seats are highly, highly adjustable. You can adjust the bolsters, the thigh support. It's incredible amount of adjustment, and I will say they are very comfortable as well. They're pretty stiff in overall feel, but you can get the seat adjusted to really exactly the way you want it to, and you also have massaging on this seat, so you're going to be comfortable in the X5M despite it being really good for holding you in if you're actually driving hard.
Yeah, in case you were wondering about the suspension, you didn't believe us, there you go. Good demonstration. It didn't jar our teeth out. That was basically gravel right there. Now, I do want to talk about the transmission. Obviously, this isn't just your exact same transmission from the other X5 models. They have definitely enhanced this 8-speed automatic transmission for performance duty. It shifts really nice and fast. The paddle shifters, occasionally you do see a little bit of a delay when I was using them earlier. Just a slight, maybe 1 second delay versus what you might expect, but overall, really nice and responsive transmission. I think it definitely does a good job of being performance oriented.
Yeah, and you do also have standard all-wheel drive with the X5M. And as far as your fuel economy is concerned, for those of you who are looking to buy this car, I doubt you're that concerned about fuel economy, but it comes in at 15 miles a gallon combined. Not great in the fuel economy department. You're certainly going to get better fuel economy out of some of the other engine options in the X5 lineup, but like I said, I'm not sure you're going to be concerned about it with this amazing engine sound and amazing performance. Now this wouldn't be a Car Confections review if we didn't do our slam dunk and airball. Drew, do you want to kick us off with the slam dunk if it's not already apparent?
Yeah, I will. That's the performance of this beast. The engine is fantastic. The overall performance is surprisingly aggressive and hardcore while still being able to totally meet the needs of your everyday life. It totally makes sense why people buy these things, because compared to something like an M3 that's very hardcore and fun, but it may not be able to meet your everyday needs like this SUV would.
Yep. And as far as the airball is concerned, it's going to be something a little bit picky, but we don't really like the operation of this M shifter. The regular X5 actually has a nice little nub shifter, and this model right here comes with just this kind of weird actual shifter, and the operation is just a little confusing, especially for someone who's used to a traditional BMW. You're going to find this a little bit weird to use, that's for sure.
As soon as I start talking, I neutral.
Yes, see, oh, that precisely. There's an example.
Yeah, great demo.
There's an example.
We own a BMW too. It's not the same as the regular BMW shifters.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And lastly, in regard to your warranty for the X5M, you're going to have the signature one, 4-year, 50,000-mile basic and powertrain. Additionally, you're going to have 3 years of complimentary maintenance. Now, as you might expect after seeing that test drive, this doesn't come cheap. The X5 M Competition is going to start at $122,300, and as you can see on the screen right now, that this is how optioned this particular model is today. It certainly is a very expensive vehicle, but you are getting a lot for that investment, that is for sure. Now, if you're looking to buy an X5 M Competition or any vehicle of any price point, the next place you should stop is carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, the reason you do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local dealers in your area to get you the best price on your new car. It is also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealer negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description. And guys, that's where we're going to leave off on this in-depth review of the refreshed 2024 BMW X5 M Competition. If you enjoyed watching this video or found it helpful in your purchasing decisions, we would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. By subscribing, you help get us invited to events like this where we can come out and sample all of the latest BMW products. So we really appreciate your support in that area, because it does make opportunities like this possible for us to show you the coolest cars on the market. If you're already a part of our Car Confections family and support the channel, thank you so much, because it really does mean a lot to us. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.